And I think that rolls nicely into what we want to talk about next, and that is like the current emotional roadshow that's happening right now, because you've been to the shows.
Yes.
And we agreed to do this after you went to those shows, so that you could actually talk about them firsthand. You've already talked about them a little bit. So
spoiler
we're gonna
alert.
launch. Yeah, spoilers alert. Actually,
if you don't want to know the set list,
don't want to know the set list, or you don't want to know what the openers are like, or you just want the experience to be new for you, then probably don't want to listen to this part.
Yeah, even though we've kind of talked about it a little bit already. But sorry.
Why did we do spoilers earlier?
I don't know. It's fine.
We should just do spoilers for the entire podcast.
Yeah, probably.
But okay, yeah. For someone who's been to the shows, talk to me like I've never been to a show before. What was the experience like? What were the openers like? We're definitely going to talk about John Bellion. We're both.
Yeah. Okay.
This is going to turn into the John Bellion podcast real quickly.
Beautiful mind. Yeah. No.
Beautiful mind.
Yeah.
Peace and love.
Yeah. I live in Texas, and I flew up to New York for the shows in Brooklyn, New York, and Newark, New Jersey, which were the third and fourth shows of this leg of the tour. And I was meeting up with my friends that I met at Madison Square Garden. And you know all of them, so yeah.
Yeah, the corner group.
Yeah. So, and most of them had already been to the first two shows. So they kind of already knew what was going to happen, what it was going to be like. I knew what the set list was going to be because I'm a very impatient person, and I had to figure it out the night of.
Me too.
Yeah. So, but I still, I didn't really know, completely what to expect, especially from the openers. So I got there Thursday night. We camped out, spent the night in Brooklyn. It wasn't too cold.
Uh-huh.
It was expecting it to be really cold. It wasn't that bad. But we got in. We were all barricade, so that was great. It was exactly what we had hoped for. Judah and the Lion, first opener. I had listened to a few of their songs beforehand on iTunes, and basically how they kind of describe themselves, and it's a perfect description for them, is a mix of folk and rock and hip hop. And I mean, that's basically what it is. With more of
almost Film Pilots.
Yeah, with more of a lean, but with much more of a lean on folk though. But it's definitely not country or anything. But they have the main instruments they have are a banjo and a mandolin, and I think they also have an accordion. It's insanely awesome.
Do I even know what a mandolin is? What's a mandolin? For our awesome viewers or listeners, what is a mandolin? Describe it to us, Steven.
I can't. It's like a it's kind of like a.
Do I have to Google this? Really?
Possibly, maybe. It's kind of like a mix between a ukulele and a tiny guitar. I don't know, and the banjo.
It's a string instrument. It's a string instrument. There we go.
Yeah, it's the same size as a ukulele, maybe a little bigger, but.
Okay, so they're very strummy.
Yeah, and then they have a drummer and
Strum heavy.
I think they have
sounded weird.
Back playing keys, but yeah. So they came out, and the first song was rocking, and I was like, "Oh, this is good." Their first two songs are new, so I don't know the names of them or whatever, but I would recommend them. When they release them, listen.
I've been jamming to them. Yeah, they're fun. I like them.
Yeah,
I definitely would enjoy them.
Yeah. And then they covered "Booty Work" by T-Pain, and the guy who was this one guy who in the back. I don't know their names besides the lead singer because his name is in the name of the band, but this one guy who was in the back who was playing accordion at some points of the concert just started twerking away in front of everybody, and it was amazing. And it was that point I was like, oh, I could definitely get into this band. Their music is good and they're fun.
Yeah.
And then they played this song called Reputation, which is a good song, and the lead singer you know how Tyler opened up the pit for car radio and went into the crowd? Yeah. And then it all came together? He basically did that. And it was really cool.
I like that. I love that.
But then apparently that was the last show that he did that for Brooklyn because afterwards, I guess he was told that he wasn't allowed to do it anymore.
That's wick.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either because it was really fun when he did it. But
Yeah.
whatever.
I guess security,
Yeah.
safety first, whatever. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. So then they covered the song "Mr. Brightside," which everybody knows, and that was fun.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
who doesn't like the Killers? Come on.
Something Blake Fine pointed out to me.
Blake.
Yeah, Blake is
Blake
the best.
Shout out to Blake.
Shout out to Blake. Something she pointed out to me after the shows is that the song "Reputation," which they play right before "Mr. Brightside," has a lyric in it that says like, "While Miss Jackson dances to Mr. Brightside." And then they covered the song
That's
"Mr.
cool.
Brightside." It's a good idea.
That's so cool.
Great, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and then they play their last two songs, "Rich Kids" and "Take It All Back," which are also great songs. And yeah, they're just a lot of fun. Like, highly recommend Judah and the Lion. My friend Sophie, shout out to Sophie, has been a fan of them for longer than she's been a fan of 21 Pilots. And
what?
Yeah, and ever since we first became, like, she freaked out big time when they got announced as openers.
Yeah,
and
I bet.
Yeah, and ever since like we first became friends, she's been telling me like you got to listen to Judah and the Lion, and I've been like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I so regret not doing it. Like, and she was like, I told you, and I was like, yeah, I know, my fault. Yeah. So then, John,
they're a good recommendation.
Yeah, good band. So then John came out, and
John Bellion.
If you don't know me, I very much love John Bellion. Like after 21 Pilots, he is my favorite musical artist. So
he's the goat.
Yeah. So all of my friends were like ready for me to pop off, and I did. I was very tired and sweaty after his set. Because I mean, I always like it when openers have people that are excited for them. Because usually a lot of people don't care about the openers. And so,
yeah,
like,
especially for 21 Pilots, I feel.
Yeah, because they're just like, okay, come on, let's get to 21
Pilots. In the most extreme sense, like, at a 21 Pilot concert, everyone is there for 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a lie. At Red Rocks, there was one guy there that was there for Mute Math, and he didn't know who 21 Pilots were.
Well, I mean,
That was funny.
Mute Math is a great band. I love Mute Math. Mute Math's fantastic.
I love them as well. We're going to talk about them. We're not going to leave out Mute Math.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the mashups, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot.
The new things they did. Yeah.
But yeah, John Bellion, I was so happy when he got announced.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to John Bellion, go check out The Human Condition. It's his newest album.
It's on iTunes and Spotify. And then it's his only album. It's his only album on iTunes because all of his other previous work, he intentionally put it out for free, which gives you a sense of the kind of person he is. He put it out for free on purpose, and it's like full length albums. And there's one other on Spotify. It's called The Definition. And then the rest of it
is really good.
The rest of it you can probably find somewhere on the internet. It's all on YouTube, so you can find it there.
It's all on YouTube, yeah.
But yeah.
How would we describe him? He's very much hip hop.
It's hip-hop
inspired, but he's an amazing singer. He sings first of all. I think he's a singer first of all. Then he is a rapper or a hip hop artist.
Yeah, but he's got flow, like for real.
He does. He has everything. He has flow. He has dance moves. He has singing. He can kill any note. He's got it.
He's the songwriter. He's the singer. He's the rapper. But he also produces everything except for like maybe one song. What?
His music, it's insane.
But like he's the sole producer on pretty much all of his work, and that just blows my mind. Which is and also he calls his songs records, which confuses a lot of people because a lot of people are like, "Oh, record, isn't that like an entire album?" Yes, but also, and I might be saying this a little bit wrong, but there's the way that I learned it was, you can call it a record. A record includes the producers, but since he's the only producer, he can call each one of his songs a record.
That's so interesting.
For the Grammys, there's like Song of the Year, and then there's also Record of the Year, and Stressed Out is nominated for Record of the Year. And a lot of people are like, Stressed Out is a song, it's not a record. But Stressed Out nominated for Record of the Year means, the band is nominated, but also the producers are also nominated in the involvement with the song. Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Anyway,
thanks for pointing that out.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway.
So when he came out, I made it a point to furiously headbang for him. And he noticed. Like, there were probably 4 or 5 points during his set where he, like, looked at me and pointed at me and, like, when he was, like, singing or rapping or whatever. And it was fun. I love that guy. But, yeah, so he finished, and he was fantastic. And then the curtain dropped. And
oh, no.
The curtain. Oh, yeah, the curtain. So, for the first leg of the tour in America, the curtain was white. Now it's black, and very specifically black, because they open up with the fairly local, like, dun 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 dun, but when it does that, the lights of the Blurryface album, like white and red, appear on the screen.
The face of Blurryface. We actually come face to face with Blurryface.
Yeah.
Well, it starts which for a lot of people was quite scary. I mean, I would imagine at that first show that no one was expecting that.
Yeah.
And bam, like, there you go, Blurryface is on the screen in front of you.
Yeah.
That's quite scary.
Yeah. It started off with just the album, and then it kind of disappeared. And then when it started doing the lyrics, the yo, this song will never be. Blurryface was there, and his mouth was moving, and he was like singing. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's Blurryface. That's him personified.
Yep.
On the curtain, and he's singing that's those lyrics.
Yeah. So then the curtain.
I thought that
drops.
Was cool. They're actually trying to bring him to life, on stage.
It's brilliant. They come up with something new every time. It's brilliant. So then the curtain dropped, and they played all their songs. And
all their songs. You're just gonna skip over.
No. So the set list was the same. Except so instead of like just having those those tiny screens to the side, they have giant screens on either side of the stage that make it a lot easier to see, whatever they're filming. Like, you can see it out of the corner of your eye while you're watching the stage, which is great because you couldn't do that in the last leg of the tour. So so that's great. And then they have the first change to the set list, which is after Hometown, what they would usually do, or they used to do, is they would show a video of Josh in his house.
The don't go back on stage clip. That's what Mike tend to call it.
Yeah.
Because they still use the audio, don't they? They still use the same audio.
They use the same audio, but muffled. It's not as loud.
It's muffled, and it's a different video this time.
Yeah.
So what video was it? Describe it.
It's Josh in a car, and they're driving, and he has, I think when he's in the car, he has the black ski mask, which is what he started off wearing. They're wearing the same outfits when they first start off, like the same red suits and black ski masks. And
yeah.
Then he gets out of the car, goes to a figure that's like, kind of far away. They talk or whatever, and they exchange something, and he gets it. He comes back, and he puts on the white ski mask. And then he comes back out on stage. Instead of starting Polarize, he starts the drum beat for Message Man, the doom, doom, ta, doom, doom, doom. Yeah. And they do Message Man from the beginning all the way up to, let's see.
I can't remember exactly where it stops, but
your dick is how could you
it speeds up as well, doesn't it? Yeah. It speeds up at one point.
Rainbows keep going, even the hope is far from this moment, but you and I know is good. Yeah, remember the morning is when night is dead. It stops there, and then it goes, boop, 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 like it speeds up.
Yeah, and it starts to speed up.
And it goes, and then Josh starts doing the drumming for Polarize, and it goes into Polarize, and it's really good. Like, it's pretty seamless, and it's funny.
And what did they call that?
They call it Mesmerize.
I think that's so cool.
It's clever.
I think that was really smart.
It's clever.
So a Message Man Polarize mashup. It's called Mesmerize. Yeah. We get some sped up Message Man, and it blends into Polarize.
Yeah. So then it does that.
Blessed.
They do Heathens. Then they do.
We Don't Believe What's on TV.
They do the House of Gold into We Don't Believe What's on TV.
Intro, the intro.
Yeah, and they have Nigel, and he's like, "Hello and welcome to the show."
Wow, amazing.
But
I feel like Nigel's right here.
But instead, because Josh changed his Twitter name, now it just says, "Would you please join me in welcoming with thunderous applause, Joshua Dunn." There's no Spooky Jim Christmas.
It's so underwhelming.
It makes me so uncomfortable. I'm so sad. But it's fine.
Long
It's
Distance
fine.
with
It's
Jim.
fine. We're fine. Burning dog meme. It's fine.
Okay, burning dog meme. Okay.
Yeah. So they play House of Gold.
Then we have Scream.
Then instead of doing the Judge, they go into Screen, and
that was huge for me.
crap.
That was huge to hear that song. It's just like a Vessel song. I just relate Scream to Vessel so much.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I was watching the Periscope and I heard Screen and I just freaked out.
Yeah.
And I made a tweet and I was like, we're finally gonna get to sing "We're Broken People" again, and everyone was just like, "Shut up, Pete."
Yeah, and all my friends
we don't want to hear it.
Yeah, and all my friends and I for that song, we held hands during Screen, especially during the "We're Broken People" part. Yeah.
It's such a nice moment.
And in one of the pictures from Brooklyn, it's a black and white picture of Tyler with the ukulele. If you look at the barricade to his right, you can see us all holding hands, and it's really great.
That warms my heart.
It's my header on my account right now because it's great. Yeah, but so they did Screen and they go Screen. So excuse us while we sing in the sky, and then it goes 3 lights are lit, but the 4th one's out, and it goes
straight into the Judge.
Yeah, like right away, and they do the Judge all the way up into the end. And then Tyler's at the piano for that, and then he does the "We're Broken People," which is not expected. And wow, that's all I'm gonna say about that is wow. So yeah, then they do "Lame Boy," and "Lame Boy" is "Lame Boy."
Nothing new there, but I'm very glad that it's still on the set list.
Oh, of course. I don't think they would take it off. Very it's glad. One of the most hype songs of the entire set list.
So good.
Yeah.
Bless.
Yeah. So then
at B stage.
Then they go to
the controversial part of the set list.
Yeah. Then they go to the B stage, and what they would do last leg of the tour for the B stage is they would just have the "Ode to Sleep" intro music playing the whole time, just playing on loop.
Yeah.
But now what they do instead is they show a video of just like little clips from Tyler and Josh from 2011 from like Regional at Best era, just like changing tires on their van and like playing really small shows,
like a prelude, like showing like where they've come from and how what it was like to be a band that no one had heard of.
Exactly. Yeah.
And of course now they're selling out arenas, so yeah, that's cool that they included that.
Yeah, and so then they do "Ode to Sleep" at the B stage. Very, very happy that's still on the set list. Then we get to the controversy. Because they cut out the entire medley, which was the old song. What was it? The Pantaloon, Fall Away. I'm not doing it in order, by the way. The Pantaloon, Fall Away, Attic with the Pen, Johnny Boy, March to the Sea, Forest, and Kitchen Sink.
Basically, all of my self-titled that I loved.
Yeah, I think it's ironic though that they showed a video clip from 2011 Regional Best era, and they do not play a single Regional Best song in the set. Yeah.
I guess you could argue "Ode to Sleep."
Well, I mean, in that sense, then you could argue "Guns for Hands" and "Holding On to You" and all that,
Yeah,
and Car Radio.
maybe.
But so then they do.
We still get "Attic with a Pen." "Attic with a Pen" is a very important song.
I'm very glad that that's still there.
I'm very glad that it's still there.
They do "Attic with a Pen" all the way up into all the way up to the end of the rap, I think. And then
the verse.
Oh boy, it goes into the Cancer cover, which they've never ever played live until that first day of the show, first day of the tour. And my oh my, I have never ever cried as hard at a concert as I did in the first time I heard them play Cancer live. I've never cried that hard at a concert.
I bet everyone was.
Yeah. I was bent over the barricade, full out sobbing. The security guard came over to me and asked me if I was okay, and I was like in full tears. I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And she totally didn't believe me.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Crying everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a very, very emotional song. If you guys don't know, if someone's listening and they don't know what Cancer is, it's a My Chemical Romance song off the Black Parade. It's a song about cancer, as you can probably guess.
A person who has
It's very sad, and 21 Pilots covered it for the Rock Sound CD that they made of different covers.
Which was
of the Black Parade,
the only good cover
anniversary
on that CD.
And it's a very sad song, and they put their own twist on it. And Tyler sings one of the lines as a chorus, and I love the imagery they use. with the visuals on the floor of the B stage.
Yes.
When they play it, I love it.
It's pretty much the lyric video playing. On
it's the lyric video that they used on YouTube, but it's nice.
It's great.
I'm mixed feelings about seeing it live because I'm like anticipating like obviously being emotional during it, but then I also really really want to hear it live because of course My Chemical Romance.
I never thought I would hear a My Chemical Romance song live, even if it's not being performed by My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, exactly. So very eager to hear it, but at the same time, obviously it's going to be very hard to hear.
Yeah.
After that, what was after that?
Josh goes back to the stage and Tyler does a piano-only version of the first verse of Cancer, and that is good. And that gives Josh time to get back to the stage, and then we get to a controversial part. Josh does a drum battle with himself, and they have on screen a pre-recorded video of him drumming, and he does a drum battle with the version of himself.
That was cool.
It was cool. I agree. And then at the end is the controversial part. They have on screen Josh's head explode, and it's
not even tame. It's like full.
It's bloody
blood
and
explosion.
Gory. Like it's intense. And
so yeah.
Here's how I feel about that. Personally, it doesn't bother or affect me, but I know that there are a lot of people in the crowd that it could bother or affect.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, I just think they probably shouldn't have done it. I think they
a lot of people were suggesting that they swap the blood out with confetti. Yeah. Just make his head explode and then confetti comes out,
or just make it explode into dust. Whatever. I mean, I don't know. I know, especially for the people who went to the first show or the second show, didn't know the set list, didn't know what was going to happen. That was an unpleasant surprise for them. So.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to talk about because obviously it's their show and they obviously wanted it to be that way.
Yeah, and I'm sure they put it in that.
I don't want to think that they just didn't think about it because they probably did think about it.
Yeah.
Personally, I haven't seen it yet up close, so I don't know how bad or good or whatever it is.
It's intense.
But yeah, I completely understand why some people are upset. Of course,
Yeah.
No one wants to see someone's head explode and blood go everywhere, especially if that's something that triggers you or you don't like blood or blood makes you feel uneasy and my brother, for instance, he sees a needle and he feels faint, so.
Oh, I have a big phobia of needles. I hate needles.
Yeah. So some people can just see blood and they don't feel well. It's something that it's very understandable of why people are upset about it.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows if they'll do anything about it or if they even know. If you guys are listening, swap the blood out for confetti. I don't know.
Or spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah, make it funny. It's already kind of funny that you're watching Josh play against himself. There's no need to make it intense and blow his head off.
Yeah.
I guess it was kind of trying to represent his glory face, maybe.
Yeah, because the
that's
version
an insecurity
of
his is being the best drummer that he can be, and
the version of him on screen was all black, or wearing all black.
Yeah.
And
so that's definitely was supposed to represent his glory face or his version of himself that he's trying to defeat. So yeah, I get the imagery of it, but yeah.
And so so then they do Holding On to You, and that's a staple. But changing Holding On to You during the chorus and Holding On to You, probably my favorite part of their entire live show is right after the bridge. And I don't know if I'm using that term correctly, actually, but right when Tyler steps onto the piano for the beginning of the Lean With It, Rock With It, that part is my favorite part of the entire show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really, you too?
Well, I mean, I love that part, but
you understand why it's my favorite.
For me, it's I get it. For me, it's always Tyler coming into the crowd, always hands down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because that for me is just something that's he might not do the car radio thing where he comes down into the crowd and splits us down the middle. He might not do that anymore, but he still comes to that barricade. He still stands on us, and a lot of people think that he just stands on the barricade, but he doesn't. He literally stands on us. We hold him up.
We support him in every sense of the word.
obviously, Michael. Well, Michael's not there anymore.
Oh,
R.I.P.
don't say Michael. Don't say Michael.
Mike usually had a hand on his back. There was
Michael
always
was
someone
at the
behind him,
Brooklyn
like
show.
holding him up as well.
Yeah.
But he literally don't stand on us. I have many testimonies to that.
Yeah.
His foot has been on my face once, just resting on my face.
Yeah. I've only held him once for that, but it was nice.
And I don't know why that's my favorite. A lot of people would be like, "Oh, why would you like that?" But I don't know. It's something that's just it's important. I think that he comes into the audience and we see him up close.
Well,
and
no, that's one of my favorite parts too.
People get that real opportunity to see this person. That like, hey, I've been listening to this person for years, and then they get to see him like right in front of them. I think it's important.
I mean, I agree with you. Probably one of my favorite videos that I have from a concert. I wasn't holding him because I'm not gonna video him if I'm holding him because it's more important to support him than to get a video of it. But at MSG night 1 at Barricade, he was like kind of to my right, and he was on the crowd. And right before he starts singing, he pounds his chest and he goes, "Let's go!" And there's a giant smile on his face, and just makes me so happy every time.
He gets really hype.
Yeah,
really hype.
Yeah.
God, I love Holding On To You. I never want Holding On To You to be off the set list. Holding On To You for me is like Trees as well. Like Trees and Holding On To You need to stay on the set list just like forever.
Absolutely.
Migraine as well. Migraine. That's like the trio, like the Vessel like trio. Never take those songs off.
I think after they release new music, I think Migraine's gonna go.
No, don't say it.
I'm sorry. I mean, they already don't play it at festivals.
Oh my god, can you imagine the setlist predictions when new music comes out?
I cannot.
Oh my god.
What are they gonna keep from Vessel? Some stuff from Vessel is gonna go, and that's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Ode to Sleep is probably gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
I think Holding On To You will stay for sure because, it's one of the iconic moments of the shows. Like, because Josh does the backflip and Tyler goes on the crowd, and those are like two of the biggest moments of their shows. Trees is gonna stay. That's obvious. I think Guns for Hands might stay if they keep doing the hamster ball. I think anything that they do crowd interaction with will stay. So like Ride and Yeah.
Yeah. So what was after Holding On To You? Did we talk about the covers yet? Was that the covers?
We did not talk about the covers yet. After the covers, the set list is exactly the same as it was the first leg of the tour. But the covers. Oh wait, real quick in Holding On To You, I want to mention. So during the chorus, on screen now, on the big screen, they have like playing cards, but they show fan art.
I forgot about this.
Yeah, they show fan art, and it's a brilliant idea, a good way to recognize the fans. Shout out to the fans. But one of the major ones that's up there is art that Vanessa did. Vanessa.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who Vanessa is.
I met Vanessa. No. Everyone knows who Vanessa is. Yeah. Vanessa, if you don't know who she is, you should.
She's a body.
She's a makeup artist. She's a body and makeup artist in the clique, and she creates unreal art.
Incredibly talented.
Very, very talented. I watched her draw Josh's tattoo on her arm for 6 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, I don't know. While we were lining up in Boston, it was the first time I actually met her and spoke to her, and she was just sitting there. And the detail on her arm is insane. It almost looks like his tattoo, to be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, so
lots of people in the clique's art was on the screen.
Yeah, and hers was.
And that was such a nice moment because then all of a sudden you just saw people tweeting "Oh, that's such and such's art, and that's Max's art, and it's Vanessa's art," and everyone's really tweeting them and saying congratulations, and it's really positive, that they're able to see their art on the stage of the person they're making it for.
Yeah.
As a way to give thanks back.
Yeah. I agree.
That's crazy. Yeah. I still can't believe that happened.
Yeah. So the covers.
Let's talk about that.
First, they brought Judah and the Lion back out on stage, and they did Tub Thumping, which, if you don't know, you'll probably know the song, just maybe not the name. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
To be honest, so many people saw it, and they were like, "What's Tub Thumping?" And then as soon as they heard the song, they were like, "Oh, that song."
Everyone knows the song, just not everyone knows the name. And the artist, too. There's Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. The most obscure name by the most obscure artist. No one knows. But everyone knows the song.
It's fun.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It was really fun. And so then they bring John and Travis Mendez back out. Travis Mendez, for those of you who don't know, is like one of John's best friends. He's a member of Beautiful Mind. He's
He
featured
makes his own
on
music as well.
yeah, he's featured on some of John's
John's
songs
songs.
like
Yeah.
Guillotine and All Time Low,
Yeah.
and He Is the Same. But yeah, and Travis Mendez is also incredibly talented. He's got a 3-song EP out there on iTunes and Spotify. I think. Go check it out if you want.
Travis.
Yeah, shout out to Travis. Anyway, John and Travis come back out and they do No Diggity, and it is just fantastic.
That was the best thing
so
ever.
so great. Oh my gosh!
And I love it because the videos that I've seen of the shows, like they get really into it.
Yeah.
Like John obviously loves that song. Like Tyler loves that song, and they jump about on stage together and.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they do Where Is the Love, which I think is so fitting for the state of the world right now. Like not even the state of America, cuz
just the world.
But yeah, the state of the world right now.
Yeah. And that's such an old song as well. It's like over 10 years old, like maybe more, I don't know.
Yeah. Black Eyed Peas.
Where's the Love by Black Eyed Peas. Yeah. Everyone loves that song. Yeah. Who doesn't love that song?
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people have been, maybe kind of giving Tyler, not necessarily like giving crap, but like being a little bit critical of him for not speaking out, about politics or about just, social issues. But I think the fact that they're covering this song is kind of his own way of putting his message out there. I heard that.
A lot of people were thinking that, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's definitely a song that's it's literally just asking like where's the love? Like why is our world so bleak and why are these people that, shouldn't be in control or becoming in control?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Don't want to mention any names or anything.
It definitely must be a nice song to hear live with all your friends, and it's a bit of a throwback in there as well.
Yeah. And then they do Jump Around.
I love that song. And then Jump Around was on the set list in Emotional Roadshow 2016.
Yeah. And it's so
fun. Glad that it's still there because it's so much fun.
It's one of my favorite covers they've ever done, like ever. It's so much fun.
Definitely.
But this time, instead of Tyler doing the whole rap, Tyler and John alternate, and they get really into it.
They get so into it. I love watching them.
They throw their hands at each other as if they're throwing the lyrics to each other. It's so much fun to watch, and
it's so good. I love their energy on stage. I love it.
They really mingle together well. Like they seem like they've known each other for years, but they've known each other for weeks. Like
literally.
Yeah, and especially for someone like me, like as two of they're both giant inspirations to me. Seeing them collaborate like that on stage and just have fun with each other together is just great to watch.
That's so good. Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah. And so that's everything that's different on this leg of the tour, because like after that, it's all the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then it's what is it? Ride, Stressed Out, Guns for Hands.
Stressed Out, Guns for Hands. Tear My Heart.
Hamster Ball's still there.
What's still there?
Although the Hamster Ball seem to be mixing it up a bit. Like Tyler's cousin got in the Hamster Ball, and then Josh got in the Hamster Ball again.
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
I had a thought the other day that they might let a fan get in the Hamster Ball, and then I just immediately remembered like lawsuits exist, and I was like, oh yeah, never mind.
That would be interesting.
That would be so fun. Can you imagine Tyler Joseph to be like you're getting in the ball
instead of doing a handshake on stage? I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean,
I would do it.
It's better than Mario Kart.
I'd probably fall like 100 times, but it's fine. The clicks got me.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. And also the drumline thing for Tear My Heart is still there, which is great. They do like if you don't know, they do at the end of Tear My Heart, Josh and the two guys in the hazmat suits have like these marching band snare drums on, and as someone who was in drumline in high school, I fangirl so hard during that. And they do like just like a little drumline cadence, and then it's really good, and it's along to a remix of Tear My Heart. It's called the Soy Sauce remix. It's on SoundCloud if you want to check it out. It's really good.
That remix pretty much reinvented that song for me. Like, I love listening to that remix.
Yeah, it's awesome. And so
and then we have something that's been happening. Not every show, but a few shows.
Oh yeah.
Where Tyler plays Mario Kart with a fan, and I'm never gonna get used to saying that out loud because it's just so both amazing and just ridiculous at the same time.
It's
I remember seeing it on Twitter. The first show of the tour, I was looking at Twitter, and Darlini's top updated. If you didn't know, TOP updated their Twitter account, run by our friend Darlini. She just tweeted out, and now Tyler is playing Mario Kart with a fan. And then she replied underneath it, "I wish I was kidding." And I was like, this can't be real. And I opened the picture, and there it is. Mario Kart 64, one of the best Mario Karts of all time.
Yeah. And I was like,
being played on stage.
I was like, is this part of the set?
They play like one map. They play like 5 minutes, like 10 minutes of this. And I think it's through a radio competition or a magazine or something, isn't it? It's like a competition to win the opportunity to do it.
But
so
there's one night
lucky person gets to play Mario Kart.
Yeah, there's one night they couldn't get the TV screen working, so they just played rock paper scissors. Like imagine just watching Tyler and some random person play rock paper scissors on stage at the concert. Like what? I mean, I like it because it's funny, but I also think it kind of takes away from the
I love them.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. I don't really know how else to talk about it. Like, that's it. That's what happens. It might happen at your show, so
I hope it does. That'll be fun.
Be prepared to play some Mario Kart or just watch some Mario Kart with Tyler.
Yeah. So that's that.
And then Car Radio. Isn't it?
Car Radio.
Car Radio is next.
Actually, the Mario Kart was, if they do it, it's after Guns for Hands, and then they do Tear My Heart. Then they do Car Radio, then Goner, then Trees. But sometimes, and this is not... Oh, hold on a second. I'm going to walk and talk because I got to go grab my laptop charger. But sometimes...
Emergency. Pray for Steven.
Yeah, I'm at 2%. 2%. Sometimes...
Sorry, guys. I'm on 2%.
Actually, I'm going to say this before I go get my laptop charger because someone in my house is playing music very loud.
Okay.
Sometimes... And this does not happen at every show, but it seems that they do it just if the crowd starts chanting Josh Dunn, then they'll do it. Tyler will be like,
the shots.
Yeah, Tyler will be like, you guys want to do a Josh chant? And it seems very impromptu, like just out of nowhere. But they have so Tyler just goes Josh, 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 and he gets the whole crowd to do it to the tune of Shots by Lil Jon. But then at the very end, they have the audio goes, everybody, shot, shot. And they have visuals for it, and Josh drums along to it. But they haven't done it at every show. So I think so far they've done it maybe twice. They did it. They didn't do it the first night. Second night, they did it right before Tear My Heart. Didn't do it the third night. And then the fourth night, they did it in the middle of the Tree speech. Okay, and also my laptop's at 1%, so I'm definitely going to go now. But
Go.
Yeah, they in the middle of the Tree speech, they just... Oh my gosh, listen to the music that's playing. It's lovely.
I can't hear it, dude. If I can't hear it, then they probably can't hear it.
It's lovely is playing throughout my house right now.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, yeah.
There you go.
But
hey, maybe we'll get copyrighted.
Oh gosh, please no. Well, I mean the song's not available for download on the internet
guys, this
besides
is very
illegally.
Unprofessional of us.
Yeah. So I think he literally in the middle of the Tree speech just did it. So I think it's just random. Like if at any point in the show the crowd starts the chant, then they'll do it. But if they don't, then they won't do it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure their lighting team and the crew are ready to play the song and the animation at any time.
Yeah.
But what I think's most cool about it is that people might not know that we used to start Josh Dunn chants at the shows, the whole shows just out of nowhere, and then Josh would play like a drum beat along to it, just completely out of the blue. He would just like play his own beat to it, and Tyler would dance. And that's probably where it came from. Was like that's us doing those chants.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yep.
And then of course we have car radio goner trees. The I call it the triple death.
Pretty
much. If you haven't cried during the show, like you're gonna cry at some point. From car radio to goner to trees, you're gonna cry.
It's heavy.
At least for me. And it's always one of them. It's always car radio, or it's always goner, or it's nearly almost always trees. And ends up making me cry at the end of the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, how would you compare it to last year's set list? Do you wish we still had last year's, or does like the John Bellion and the covers and the Mario Kart and Cancer, does that make up for it?
I like the covers better.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, of course, I wish the medley was on the set list, but I'm happy with this set list. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
I think it's perfectly fine as it is, and
I'm never gonna hear it because my next show is in Australia, or New Zealand, so I don't know what supports we're getting, so I don't know what covers we're getting, and
I'm really happy with the support acts for this one. This is my favorite. Like no offense to Chef Special Mute Math at all. I love Chef Special and I love Mute Math. Like passionately love them both. But I do like this lineup better.
Yeah.
And it's just
definitely.
It's mostly because of John, but it's also largely because of Judah and the Lion. It's great.
Judah and the Lion are cool guys. Like they seem really nice.
Yeah.
Just from what I've seen on like social media and like people talking about them.
Yeah, no. After their set, the lead singer Judah like goes to like a merch stand or whatever.
Oh, his name's Judah?
Yeah, his name's Judah.
Is there someone else in the band called like the Lion?
Yeah, no.
I thought you were being serious there. I was like, that's so cool.
His name's Judah, and the drummer's name is the Lion. No, and the other people just don't have names. No, But yeah, so he goes and meets people after this. It's really cool.
One person's called the.
Yeah.
One person's called the Lion.
Yeah. It's perfect. 4-person band. No.
We dragged this out too long.
Yeah. So okay. So do you want to? We're at 71 minutes right now, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our goal for this was to be like 30 to 45 minutes. It's at an hour and 11 minutes right now.
You know what? After today, let's call it a day.
Yeah.
And we didn't even talk about Mute Math mashups.
I mean, I still have like 15 minutes before I gotta do stuff. So I mean, do you want to?
Let's just do it. Let's talk about the Mute Math songs.
Yeah.
That'll be a good way to like round it up.
Yeah. I loved them.
Okay, so if you didn't know, the last Emotional Roadshow Part 1, as I like to call it, was a band called Chef Special from the Netherlands, then a band called Mute Math, then Tornado Prouds. That was the lineup. I actually went to this tour, so I can talk about it as well. I flew over to America. I went to 11 shows.
It's casual.
And, yeah, just casually. And I got to see Mute Math, and they ended up becoming now one of my favorite bands. They are incredibly talented guys.
Especially
in particular Darren King, the drummer.
Darren King, aka
who has definitely shook my belief that Josh Dunn is the best drummer.
Darren King is the best live drummer I've ever seen. Hate me up for saying that all you want. Darren King is the best.
He is. He's unbelievable to watch. And even like the first few seconds he came on stage, he blew me away because he sits down, he puts on his headphones, and then he duct tapes the headphones to his head.
Yeah, it's great.
And that alone was just enough for me. I was like, this guy means business. This guy is here to play some drums. And of course, throughout the entire set, he breaks like 5 drumsticks because he's hitting the drums so hard, and not in like an aggressive, like he's trying to break the stick way. Like that's just how he plays. He's just super. He hits hard.
Yeah, if you want to get a drumstick at a concert, go to a Mute Math concert. Because earlier this month, I saw them headline, or they just did like a one show like thing, and I think probably about 10 drumsticks went to the crowd. I got one, and one of my friends got one.
Yeah,
and
he smashes it up.
It's crazy. It's awesome.
And the sweat's flying off him, and I've never seen anyone so passionately play drums before.
Yeah.
Well, him and Josh are definitely sort of neck and neck in my eyes of who's the best drummer that I've seen live.
Well, I mean, Mute Math were a big inspiration for 21 Pilots because they've been around since
definitely. Yeah.
I want to say 2005, but it might be earlier than that. But I know,
was very happy to play with him.
They were a big inspiration for 21 Pilots. They do a lot of crowd interaction in their own show too.
Yeah.
Like during one song, they put drums into the crowd. The Darren puts 2 drums in the crowd and has them hold the drums up, and he drums on them. They didn't do this when they were opening, but during the song Typical, they put a giant mattress with lights around it on the crowd, and Paul, the lead singer, dives off the stage onto the mattress, and they surf it around. It's really incredible. Sick. It's really sick.
They're very crowd interaction heavy. They love to do things with the crowd.
Yeah. So, anyway, Mute Math.
So basically, great band. Check them out. They did a mashup. They did the TOPXMM, 5 songs. They went into a studio and just jammed together. I think was what happened.
They rehearsed the day before.
Yeah, they rehearsed the day before, and then Mark just recorded it, and that was it. They didn't really need much time with it.
It was mixed and mastered by Paul, the lead singer of Mute Math.
Yeah, he does like his own sort of like remix kind of things.
Yeah, called Melomatics.
He's very into his electronics.
He's brilliant.
But these mashups, I don't listen to the normal version of Ride anymore. I just listen to the TOPXMM version of Ride. Like, I don't listen to the normal one. It's my favorite one on that.
Me too. It's so good. Because, I mean, it's not the most different.
The intro alone.
Yeah, the most different one is Tear My Heart, for sure. Because Tear My Heart, they turned it into like a 70s funk song. But Ride is just, it feels so futuristic almost. But like,
it does, yeah.
I heard it on the radio and it blew my mind.
They did Heathens as well.
They did Heathens.
But Heathens is probably the least strong one on there. I think it doesn't sound much as a remix as just like a different recording.
It's smooth though. They don't have the watch it or anything like that. And it's.
I love the intro. Yeah. Where Tyler's just playing by himself. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and then they also have like it's almost like a smooth jazz version, kind of, but like not jazz, but like, you know, you can kind of vibe out to
acoustic.
Like,
sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, like they have one of the members of Mute Math, Roy, is playing an upright bass, and like it's really cool.
It's smooth. That's a good word to describe it.
It's probably my least favorite one from the 5. I'm
gonna call it Smoothens from now on.
Yeah, it's probably my least favorite one from the 5, but I mean, it's very good. It's the first one. It's a 25-minute video on YouTube with all 5 of the songs, and it's the first one.
It's really fun to watch.
It's a good way to open up the video. Yeah.
I said this when they released it. I said the best thing about this is the fact that not only is it the first real collab that 21 Pilots have done, but they look so comfortable in that video where they're just playing together. And, you know, Josh and Darren, they have that drum versation.
Yes.
As Tyler called it.
Yes. The thing that
Tyler
blessed
and his
my
words
ears.
that he makes up.
Yeah.
And they look so comfortable, just happy to be there and playing with them. And that's really cool to me because obviously, like you said, they were inspired by Meat Mouse. So that must have been a huge deal to go into the studio and just play together.
Yeah. I honestly, if they made an entire album like that, even if it like not being 21 Pilot songs, just an entire album of stuff that sounded like that, I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
For sure.
End on end for hours. Sure. Like,
I want Paul Meany, the lead singer of Meat Mouse. I want him to go back and remix like Vessel.
Oh my god!
Like Vessel, like TOPXMM Vessel, all of it. Trees.
Holding on
like,
to you,
I want that
migraine.
Shit.
Fake you out. Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, they did 5 songs, and they picked Heathens, Heavy Dirty Soul, Ride, Tear My Heart, and Lamboy.
Which are pretty much their most popular songs.
Pretty much like the Blurry Face.
Out.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't do Stressed Out.
They didn't do Stressed Out because Paul already remixed Stressed Out. The Melomatics remix.
Yeah,
which is what they do at the end of Stressed Out when they play it live. Like the dun dun dun, that thing. Yeah. Which is, by the way, that's also on SoundCloud. If you just I think you just type Melomatics, MELLOWMATICS.
Oh yeah, that's like his like artist name for like his solo stuff.
Melomatics Stressed Out. I think that's all you have to type, and it's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
Awesome.
Oh
they
my
were
gosh.
really good, and it was kind of a surprise as well. They didn't really give us any clues or anything. They sort of just
wait. Okay, real quick. This just happened. You know Katie at KSNICS on Twitter?
Yeah.
The band account just tweeted at KSNICS. So great meeting you today. Sorry we didn't talk much. We were kind of nervous to meet a legend. Blown away by the art you create. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome,
dude. What? So great meeting you today. Sorry we didn't talk much. We were kind of nervous to meet a legend. Blown away by the art you create. That's insane.
I'm so happy about that. That's great. Wow.
Dude, I don't even follow her, but I know who she is.
Yeah, me. I think I follow. Yeah, I follow her. Oh, we're mutuals.
That's insane.
I didn't even know we were so mutuals. Cool. Wow, I never talked to her. I'm gonna talk to her right now.
But that's nice that they just tweeted her and said that. That's really kind of them. Yeah. Sorry, podcast. We just interrupted that.
Sorry.
To talk about this, but yeah, if you were, that'd be really interesting though. If someone's listening to this, and then they didn't realize that happened, and then they just found out that it happened, and they thought that it was live.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Look at that.
Yeah.
She must be so happy. Anyway. Just another example of how much 21 Pilots love their fans.
Yeah. For anyone that says that they don't care about their fans, you're wrong. You're wrong. Fight me about it.
Just like the X in the corner of your screen.
Yeah. But yeah. So,
I think that's all we've got time for, really, to talk about.
Yeah.
We covered quite a lot. How long has this been going on for?
An hour and 20 minutes. So.
An hour and 20 minutes. Okay. That's definitely time to call it then.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you want...
That was our first podcast. So, thank you for listening. If you're still listening, if anyone's actually made it to this point, then thank you. For hearing us just talk about nonsense.
You never know. Maybe someone could listen to it on their way to work or school or something. I don't know.
If you live an hour and 20 minutes
if it takes you an hour and 20 minutes to get to school.
In which case you're making terrible life choices.
I mean, there's some people commute and or in New York, if you have to take the train, it takes a while.
They can listen to it in parts,
If you live an hour and 20 minutes away from school, I don't know, you might want to go to a closer school.
Yeah.
But work is understandable, I guess. But anyway.
So that was all we have time for, I guess. We would love to just keep talking. That's kind of why we made this, because we just love talking about 21 Pilots. But yeah, that was our first episode. So we're going to say goodbye, and we're also going to say we're 21 Pilots and so are you.
Yep. All right. Stay alive.
Steven's just looking at me like, what? We didn't agree to that.
I'm fine with it. I was going to say something else too. It's fine. Stay alive and stay listening.
Yeah, stay alive. That's it. We're gonna call it. That's it.
All right.
This is like the version of no, you hang up and no, you hang up. But
no, you
we don't
hang
have to hang up.
No, you hang out. All right. 3, 2, 1, bye.
Peace, guys.